So in this video, I've got something a little bit different planned today. Many of you guys have seen my dance photographs that I've been showing off and on in this channel over the last couple of years. It's sort of an ongoing series that I've been working on, and a lot of these dances were choreographed by my friend Alexandra Light. Alexandra and I are going to be doing a workshop together, you've heard me talk about, in New York City in about a month. And so I thought it might be fun to get her on here and talk a little bit about the idea of collaborating, the idea of dancer's motif, and some of the things that we're going to be thinking about in that workshop. So without further ado, this is my interview with Alexandra. This is my friend Alexandra Light, who we have collaborated some in the past, and we have a big collaboration coming up in that in about a month we're going to be in New York City together teaching a dance and photography workshop. And what's really cool about this is I initially wanted to do a photography workshop that would include figure to some degree, so either portraits or whatever. And then I thought, well, the dance thing could be really cool. And then I started thinking about it. I thought, well, you know what I need to do is include you on this, because I could get students and get dancers and we could probably pose and do something, but that's not really photographing dance. What really is photographing dance is to get somebody who knows what they're doing, who's a choreographer. And I'll start by saying just a little bit about you, and I'll let you take it from there. So you have been a principal at Texas Ballet Theater for 13 years now.
Well, principal for probably a decade of that.
Okay, but you've been with the company 13.
13
That's
seasons,
amazing. And you have decided to retire this year.
Retire.
Talk about what you're going to be doing. I can't wait.
I have always loved choreography and have wanted to pursue that professionally. And it kind of took some time, but I got back into it as a dancer, choreographer. You know, it's kind of like juggling two jobs. But I have love the process and have had this great partnership with the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, and I believe that's where you and I kind of connected.
It is.
But I've served, I mean, not only as dancer on stage, but I've done a lot of dance photography as the dancer model. I've also worked with a commercial agency and have done a lot of other stuff on that side of the camera. And I'm just super excited for this workshop because I can't tell you how many times I've been in workshops where it is just like dancers and photographers, and it's not that dancers can't, you know, do some direction, but like this is the first time that I've seen anybody really creating this kind of opportunity, which is so cool.
It's unusual.
Yeah, and I wish it was more usual. At least in my experience, I'm like, maybe other people are out there doing it, but like in my experience,
we'll be the trailblazers on this.
Yeah.
Well, what is exciting to me is that you know, my whole thing with photography is I have a music background. That's what my bachelor's is in from years ago. And I've always been a photographer, and I didn't start taking that seriously until long afterwards. And so with my formal training being in another medium, it's interesting to kind of bring things over and to be able to collaborate.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about that in this video. But I think it's going to be really interesting because, you know, with photography, you have a medium that takes place in just an instant of a moment.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do long exposure, but it's still representative of that. It's still, dance is a performance medium, and so you have this element of time and motion and form. When you work as a choreographer, and this is what I wanted to pick your brain about, I think this is interesting. How do you think in terms of the components that make up that visual language, so to speak, that you're working with? How do you begin something like that?
Yeah, I guess it's similar to photography in that a lot of times these elements, like you have an idea and you have an aesthetic background, and you go into it with those ideas, but you don't necessarily know 100% what you're gonna get, right? There's so many elements that are left up to like the moment, which with photography, it's, you know, lighting and your figures in the frame, and, you know, some of that you can control, but a lot of it you kind of can't. So I feel like when I approach choreography, I'm at least at the moment, I pre-plan a lot so that I have like real concrete ideas of what I want and my intention. But when I get to the studio and with the dancers, working with the artists, I am totally down to like leave it all behind. I think the preparation will guide the way, but it doesn't necessarily make the piece. So even if I come in with specific steps or phrases in my mind, once I kind of start to collaborate with the dancers, which I feel like is the same as the, you know, lighting and figures in photography, if things start to flow one way more naturally that goes away from where my initial plan was, I'm totally down to follow that.
So there's an improvisational element, so to speak.
Yeah,
in what it is that you
I don't know. I mean, there's literal improv sometimes. Like sometimes it's like,
Right.
okay, you guys, here's this prompt, and like kind of play with that. But for the most part, I feel like even my improv is like intuitively guided.
I think, you know, one of the things, I mean, I've always been very envious. I think a lot of photographers are very envious of painters. And
sure.
photography is very different because in painting, you've
Yeah.
got this blank canvas. You've got to have the confidence to make that first mark. And then
Right.
everything is controlled from there
Yeah.
with that aesthetic in mind. And then it stands there in time. It doesn't perform necessarily. So there isn't that kind of, I'm calling it improvisation, which is different than improv dance.
Right, yeah.
But they have that
no, but it is
concreteness.
that, I mean, they're obviously related. And yeah,
Sure.
there is that like kind of left up to chance. Like I'm sure painters also face that, but I can understand like how like like as a photographer, you can't go in the camera and like, you know, you can't like just take a little eraser. I mean,
You could, yes.
you can now, I guess, with technology, but like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, and I think that most photographers, especially ones that are doing documentary style photography,
Sure.
that's what it is. You're not creating you're not painting,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
But you're making decisions based on, you know, the point of view, what's going to be composed, where things are in the
Yeah.
frame. But then there's also, you know, this more or less geometric language. You've got shape, you've got line, you've got, and do you think in those terms too?
Oh
with
yeah,
dance?
100%. And I think sometimes I don't even realize how much I'm thinking about that because
Right.
most dancers and you know most choreographers come from a dance performance background. Not all, but we're trained from such a young age that so much of that stuff is so ingrained that even if I'm not thinking, I'm thinking about some of these really high-level compositional ideas. I definitely am. Like they're just kind of baked in. Yeah.
So on those lines, the title of our workshop is Dancer's Motif. You guys deal with motif in choreography.
Yeah,
as well.
more than people ever realize. Like, I think that if I, like, you know, came into the studio and started talking about motifs, I mean, I do from time to time, but, like, I don't think people realize that, like, these motifs are our everyday, they're our bread and butter. Like, ballet class
Right.
hits every motif in the classical
Okay, so
ballet book.
let's back
you
up
know?
to a second. What is
Yeah.
define motif?
To me, it's
in
like
movement.
specific images that, or you know, lines, movements, shapes of the body that evoke a certain type of artwork, period of artwork, mood, theme.
And you
narrative.
develop the motif throughout the course of time that is in the piece.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. And you know what might mean something to me, might mean something different to others, might mean something to someone else who's trained in classical ballet or a different form of dance, or someone who has
Interesting.
no training in dance. I know we were talking a little bit the other day that I very much feel that everyone is a dancer in their own way, and it just, you know, it's like what rules you follow. But yeah.
Well, and that's fascinating to me too, because essentially it comes down to expressing through the human form.
Right, yeah.
And I think with photography, I think, you know, we have that same thing. We're not doing the expression, but we're looking for that, or we're
Yeah,
capturing that.
yeah.
You know, and I think that's one thing that when we work together on this is going to be really interesting. And I was telling, we had a thing the other day we were doing, and I made the comment that in the past I have had opportunities with camera companies, and one in particular, and it got me onto to test a lens onto the soccer field, professional soccer, which is an awesome experience. I know this much about soccer, zero.
Same.
Football, for those who are in Europe,
Yeah.
I just don't, and it made it extraordinarily challenging for me, because like if I were shooting baseball or basketball or something that I am familiar with, then I start to anticipate what could happen. And I think that's the same role that this is sort of playing too with our collaboration, is that I enjoy dance. I can analyze things that I'm seeing, but I'm not trained. I'm not, you know. And so for you as a choreographer and a dancer also to come in and be able to kind of translate some of that and look at that. Let me ask you this. We've talked about it before. You've worked obviously with me, but also other photographers at the company and so on and so forth. And we were talking about that too. And this is one thing I've learned a lot from you, is in terms of what you're looking for. A lot of times a photographer thinks they have a great image, but from a dance perspective, if you know what you're looking at there, maybe it's a little...
Yeah,
You know.
I know we've talked a lot about this, because likewise, I'm coming in to look at photography and like, you know, I have an aesthetic idea of what I like and what I think is good. And like I guess if it's a really crap photograph, like I can be like, oh, that sucks. I think, but at the same time, like there's probably lighting things or things that might not jump out to me as like a mistake or you know, something that people who are technically advanced in photography might look at and say, oh, it's like a little dodgy, which is the same, coming from outside the dance world.
Yeah.
Is that dance is very picky about a lot of things, especially when you get into some of these schools of thought like classical ballet.
Right.
And there's things that, if someone trained in dance or knowledgeable about dance sees, they might judge kind of harshly. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the right way, there is an interest in people coming from different schools of thought. But I think what we were talking about is like, it's the mutual respect and the, coming together and discussing it. Because there's some photographers who are just like, I love this shot, and they don't mind if it's kind of like not the best form. And the dancers especially the dancers, are not going to love seeing their form out there like that. And I think, depending on the audience, it's like not a good look for anybody. And
no, and I think that one of the things that helped me that I learned from you when we talked one of the first times is we were talking about the idea of lines, and for me it became this idea of in dance you've got this element of time that we don't have in photography, because the same thing happens in music. And you have in music they call it kind of this idea of resolution, so you have tension that resolves at the end. And if you're capturing in those points of tension sometimes, that's not exactly the look.
That is such a good way to put it. That is such a good way to put it. It's like, there's moments where you haven't quite resolved something where when you capture just that moment, the dancer's going to go, ah! The dancers are usually going to, I'm speaking for myself, like look at a photo and be like, oh my God, that's myself.
Not a good look, yeah.
Like, that's just a self-consciousness thing. But there's things that go beyond that, obviously, when it comes to...
But again, that's also understanding what it is that you're photographing or what it is that you're looking at, and understanding where those points of emphasis are going to be in the end.
Yeah.
And, I think you could make the argument, and certainly people do with photography, that we do have the element of time when you get into something that's either an exhibition format or even a book, probably, where you could show it. But still, having those moments, if you're going to show tension, show the tension. If you're going to show resolution, show the resolution. And they become very, it's the age-old term, decisive moments in photography. But this is, I'm super excited that we're going to be working together on this.
I'm excited. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I hope people realize like how cool and valuable this is, whether you like dance, photography, art in general, or...
Oh yeah, we're gonna have, it'll be seen. Speaking of, I do want to ask you this, because we made the decision. We're actually, it's not just going to be the two of us. We're actually bringing in 3 dancers. Yes. And we were trying to decide how we wanted to tackle this. And obviously, being in New York City, we try to support local when we can. And we decided, part of why I weighed in on my decision is that I wanted to bring people up from Fort Worth, because I wanted to keep the dynamic that you're used to working with people.
Sure, yeah.
Talk about who we've got coming, because I think this will be interesting too.
We have Rayleigh Vent, Ava Rose Dillon, and Jonathan Robbins. And I think you've photographed both Ava and Rayleigh in works that I've choreographed for the Modern Art Museum. So I'm really excited to have them all. And it's cool because they're peers with me in Texas Ballet Theater, where I'm finishing up my performance career. So know them very, very well, and have worked with them, choreographed on them a number of times now. So
it's going to be awesome. Yeah, and you and Rayleigh are pretty good friends too. You've worked together for a long time.
So. She was one of my bridesmaids, and
we're very I figured
close.
You guys
were
were
very close. So not that I love working with new people too. When we first started talking about it, I'm like, we can work, from anywhere with dancers from anywhere. But I think it's going to be cool to have that, and I think it's just going to be like a.
And you're working on a piece with Ava Rose right now.
Yeah,
that's in Atlanta. Is that correct?
Yeah. We're premiering Schrodinger's Cat, which is a duet for her and one of her partners in the company, Henry. They are performing that at the Rialto Center for the Performing Arts down in Atlanta for a program called Dance Canvas. What are those dates? March 21st and 22nd. We actually have a rehearsal. I'm picking her up from the airport in like an hour or two.
I started to say those dates are coming up.
I know. I'm picking her. She just got back from a trip from London. So.
Oh yes, very exotic. So
yes,
She finished up the show last week and immediately flew to London.
Yeah. We're on a break from the ballet company, and that's sort of when we get to do like all of our fun little
fun stuff.
Well, cool. Although we'll be in season when go to New York.
Well, I'm
Take
super
it
excited to be
weekend.
doing this, and thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. And I wanted to share
Yeah.
some of this with my audience too. And we do
So
actually
fun.
have, I think there's a couple seats left. If people are interested, they can still sign up. So,
Cool.
yeah, but New York City, this will be April 4th through 6th,
Yay.
2025. So if you're in the
Yay.
future, unfortunately,
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
envision this whole touring outfit of this workshop one day if we can be a
Yeah.
success. So.
I hope people, I think it's going to be so cool. I think it's going to be really cool.
New way of thinking, and and I think for me, it's like being able to learn through other art mediums is
Same for
one of the most inspiring
same for
things.
dancers and choreographers. Like I think the best art is when people come together and they really get to have these like deep conversations about work. And so I'm excited about it being like a nice group, not like 1,000 people.
No, it's very small. So
Yeah, like an intimate setting where we all get to really know each other and the ethos behind our work and in different media. So
it's going to be great.
Yay.
Alexandra, thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you, Ted.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thanks.